Hey, how's it going everyone? Just got a quick travel tip video. For the very first review I ever did, I think it was a review of the Eagle Creek Silk Money Belt. And I said that this would probably be the most important thing that you have on you, simply because this is going to have the most important items with you. Just a quick recap, you would have this silk money belt that you're going to have on you at all times. You'll take your passport and any other important travel documents, stick them inside of a Ziploc bag, seal it up really good, and put them inside of the money belt. And because they're in a plastic bag, you're not going to have to worry about this getting wet. You can sweat all over the money belt or walk in the rain, you'll be fine. And you have credit cards, ATM cards, driver's license, and then you're going to stick this inside. Don't have to put it inside the plastic bag just because these are plastic. Zip it up, wear it, and even if you get your bag stolen, you'll still be fine just because you'll still have access to cash and you'll have your identification on you. However, this isn't going to be the item that you're going to be using the most when you're out and about, even though you're wearing it. This is going to be inside of your pants, and you don't want to be digging inside your pants every time you need to grab cash. So I recommend always having a Decoy Wallet. Now for the Decoy Wallet, what you're going to have is small amounts of bills, maybe a copy of your ID, and you're going to be using this all the time whenever you're making small purchases. For example, paying for meals, buying groceries, getting souvenirs, or paying for entrance to things like museums and such. So, and after the end of the day, when you're just safely in your hostel room or wherever, you can replenish the small amount of bills and cash inside of your Decoy Wallet. And also, if this gets stolen, your trip isn't really ruined. You just lost a wallet. You still have access to your main monetary source. However, there are a few things that I would like to mention and recommend when choosing a wallet for everyday carry. First of all, I don't recommend using leather, even though this is the most popular version. The reason for that is, I mean, ask most guys and most girls, if you have a leather wallet for a certain amount of time, it's going to get wet, it's going to swell, it's going to crack, it's going to peel, and leather just wears out. I highly recommend that you get a wallet that is made of a synthetic material. This one just happens to be made out of nylon. I picked this up at a mall somewhere. But yeah, just because it is made out of a synthetic material, if this gets wet, it's going to dry really quickly, and I don't have to worry about it molding like a leather wallet. In addition to that, I recommend that the wallet that you choose, if it's going to fasten, this doesn't fasten, but I recommend that it does fasten, and in addition to that, instead of using Velcro to fasten, Velcro is going to wear out, I suggest you have snaps on your wallet. Now if it has if it has Velcro on it, but you like everything else about the wallet, that's no problem. I have another video on how to remove the Velcro on an item and then just replace it with metal snaps, so that's an easy fix right there. But highly recommend that it can snap shut. And whereas this only has space for bills and cards, I highly recommend that your Decoy Wallet have a small pouch in it to hold coins. Now here in the United States, most coins, you got pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. Most of us treat change like it's nothing. I mean, we use it to pay for parking and for smaller items, and we give it away like it's nothing. However, in most other countries, coins actually mean something. In fact, the United States is the only country that I can really think of where the one is a note. In countries such as the UK, you have the pound, which is a coin. In Europe, you have the euro, which is a coin, and the Australian dollar is also a coin. Sorry, I spent all my Australian dollars. And in fact, for the 2, that's also a coin for Europe, the UK, and also in Australia. In fact, for those areas, the smallest bill you're going to find is a 5. So keep on holding on to those coins. In fact, whenever you pay for bills, you're going to get a lot of change back, and you're not just going to get rid of them. I mean, you could have up to $20, $30 worth of coins in that little pouch. So make sure that your wallet has a pouch to hold coins. It's going to add up, and trust me, you're going to want to keep on holding on to these. In addition to that, whereas the most popular wallet style, particularly for men, is a bifold wallet, I recommend that you use a trifold. And the reason for that is the American bill system is they're actually quite small in terms of width. So if I had this wallet, stick a $1 bill here as an example, fits just fine. Fits perfectly, right? Close it and it's just fine. However, if you look at some of the notes from some other countries, you're going to find that this is a little bit narrow. If I bring out, this is actually an old note from France, is a 200 franc note. Stick that in here, close this wallet, look at that, sticks out a lot, doesn't it? And in fact, I have some other notes that you can check it out. This is a $50 note from Hong Kong, sticks out as well. I have a 20 € bill left over, sticks out, and I have a £10 note from the UK. Sticks out. So I don't recommend a bifold wallet. In fact, there are some bifold wallets that are wider, however they're pretty bulky. If you want to keep your wallet as small and slim as possible, I would go with a trifold design, just because since it folds this way, it doesn't matter how wide the notes are, it's still going to be hidden inside of the wallet. In fact, let me just grab that 200 franc note again. If you look here, when I put it inside, still plenty of room. And it hides just fine. Doesn't matter. I mean, you have a lot of space for how long the note is going to be and for how wide it is. So I recommend a trifold wallet. And that's about it. Just a few tips for things you should look for whenever you're getting a travel wallet. They're pretty easy to come by, and it's pretty easy to mod it out to add these little changes like the metal snaps. But basically that's it. Make sure that it's made out of a synthetic material, make sure that it fastens, make sure that it has a little pouch for coins, and that the notes aren't going to stick out, just because that's going to get annoying. So that's my little tip for things to look for when you're getting a travel wallet. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.